This video is about validating and expressing emotions and how important that is. And it's particularly important with people, with everyone first of all, but with people with irritable bowel, you don't really know how to do that or even connect with that. So I was always a very emotional person growing up, but I didn't honor all of my feelings. I kind of really had a habit of repressing and suppressing all my negative feelings, and I kind of used force and accomplishing and kind of ignoring and distracting as a way of coping with my emotions, and a lot of people do. So I would keep myself busy. I would always stay kind of in this stress cycle of I gotta get this task done, then I gotta do this, then I gotta do this, then I gotta hang out with this friend and then this friend, and I always kept myself busy. I was always with people and always busy and so distracted from my own self that out of nowhere, I got irritable bowel when I was working 3 jobs and about to start a new program in university. And I was so stressed out and I didn't even know it. That's how disconnected and kind of dissociated I was from my body. And I ran away a lot until I started getting some help when I had really bad anxiety attacks, to the point where I became dysfunctional. I couldn't go through school and be in my relationships properly. I knew that's where I really started to, that's when I really knew I had to do something about it. And I kind of had this, inner experience and journey, this awakening journey to this part of me that woke up, oh crap, I don't even love myself. I realized at that point I had so much self-criticism and I was running away from it. And then I went into all of this, positivity and this meditation work, and but I kept running in the same cycles over and over and nothing was really working. And then I had leaky gut, and I kept just repeating these same relationship mistakes, and I was wondering why. And it's because I didn't have a good relationship with my emotions, and that's why I really wanted to make this video, how important it is to validate your emotions and to express your emotions, because that's the relationship that you need to have to begin regulating and processing and digesting what has been suppressed and repressed, and to really own back that inner balance, that inner harmony in your life. So to validate emotions, most people will start off saying it's okay to feel how you feel. But sometimes people with irritable bowel or someone like me, I had so much judgment, so much anger that I couldn't be okay with how I feel. So for someone to say, you're okay, just be okay with how you feel, it's okay how you feel, that's one piece of validating your emotion. But what if you're really not okay with how you feel? So I believe the most helpful thing that I learned is to be okay with not being okay with how you feel. It's okay to hate how you feel. So if you notice you're like, I just hate feeling like this, and like I'm so irritated, I hate my life, and this is so stressful, and you're in so much resistance, you gotta tell yourself it's okay to feel this hateful, and it's okay to feel this fearful. It's okay to not like what you're feeling. So it's really a good place to start. It's okay. It's not about being okay with how you feel. It's about giving yourself permission to not be okay with how you feel. I feel like that breaks the barriers to having an honest relationship with your emotions. So connect with how you feel, because if you do not know how you feel, or if you don't even feel what you feel, then it's going to be very difficult to begin healing your irritable bowel. You got to know what you feel, and that could be just a sensation. Sometimes emotions they're hard to pinpoint. All we know is that sometimes it's just tapping into or tuning into, it feels unpleasant. That would be a good place to start. Unpleasant, or I feel angry, I feel sad, I feel irritated, I feel scared, whatever that is, right? Those are usually the main ones, but just know that you either like the feeling or you don't. Do you like the feeling or you don't? And if you do not like the feeling, acknowledge that I don't like this feeling, and to give yourself permission to not like this feeling, and to begin feeling these feelings. And no one really does this in the society, and I do believe that this unhealthy relationship that we have with our emotions are, you know, it's turning into this epidemic of like syndromes and chronic illnesses. And that's why we kind of live a life for everybody else. A lot of people live a life for everybody else because they don't know how to acknowledge and validate themselves. If you do not know how to acknowledge and validate yourselves, you're never going to know who you really are and what you really want to do with your life, like authentically. And the more that you validate your feelings over and over again, you know what you need, and perhaps that's a lot of self-care. And if you need self-care and you feel guilty about taking this time to feel what you feel, and guilty about taking care of yourself this much, and judging yourself that I don't have time for this, I can't do this, that's the piece that you really need to pay attention to, is why can't you do it? Or why do you feel like that? And so much of the time it is the guilt and the judgment and the stress because I gotta do this, because I gotta do this. Yeah, that's one piece, but you gotta look at why you feel like that. And is that absolutely true? And to really get in touch with why. And a lot of the time it's fear, it's anxiety, you're in survival mode. And in survival mode, our emotions are not important, but it's about transcending above that. And knowing that we live in this country now where there is freedom and there is peace and there is help. We have a beautiful support system in these developed countries, that in this kind of freedom that people would only dream of before. And it's our reality now. And it's time to be grateful for kind of what's been given to us and use this time to evolve as a human species towards love. And that really begins with validating and expressing, honoring, acknowledging our emotions, because love is an emotion. How do we get there? By feeling our feelings. If we're not going to get to this place called love and freedom, and you know, because that's what we really want, right? In the end of the day, we want peace, love, freedom. Everyone does, and joy. But we don't get there without feeling what we feel. You know, trying to be positive sometimes, and I really learned this in my own way, is that sometimes it's just a facade. It's not authentic to how you feel. And healing your body begins with having a really healthy and honest, above all be honest, relationship with yourself. And sometimes that's really scary, because for the first couple years, and I really did this the long way, so if you go right into it, an extreme into it, doesn't have to last that long. You follow all these principles with feeling your feelings, staying with your feelings, processing your feelings, digesting your feelings, staying with it until it's gone over and over again. You know, you're really gonna start changing your life. And it's faster than psychotherapy. There are people that have done psychotherapy that have understood what has gone on with them and what's gone wrong with them, and in kind of an intellectual, psychological understanding of this is why, and it's because I grew up like this, and yada yada yada. And I went into that, but it's a very slow way to go through it, because it is the feelings that keep the problems perpetuating. So when we drain out the feelings, the problems go away, and the psychological understandings kind of become irrelevant, right? Because you just feel more peace and acceptance and forgiveness within yourself, which makes you kind of forgive everyone else just automatically and effortlessly. So it is more of a, you know, health is more of a state of being with your feelings in your body instead of trying to be positive. The people who are trying to be positive, that's the first step, but you know, it's about integrating that, yes, and it's important. But above all, be honest with yourself if you're really to heal the feelings that are undigested in your body, and to really express that. You know, it's important to sometimes express those feelings that you have with yourself, to say, okay, hey, I'm scared, you know, or like I'm angry and I need to deal with this. The fear and the anger are the two main emotions that will make your body sick, and the guilt that is wrapping yourself, and the resistance and the guilt that does not let yourself feel those feelings, and that judgment. So it's about breaking the barrier by saying, hey, I am giving myself permission to hate the way that I feel. First of all, I am brave enough to be honest with how I actually feel about something. And then I can feel, and then I'm brave enough to feel what I feel because it is unpleasant. And that is how you heal your irritable bowel. You have to heal your feelings. It's the only way. If you have any questions on how to validate or give yourself permission to feel these feelings, if there's something that I have not covered and you're not getting it, ask for help in the support video, and I am very happy to clarify that.